What is going on, guys? It is T90 Official. Welcome to another amazing game of Age of Empires 2. You know, this whole year has been amazing for me in particular, but the whole community in general has just been growing and growing and growing. And recently, a big German channel, RocketBeans, started getting involved with Age of Empires, doing what I believe is called Rage of Empires, and doing what we will see here today, playing versus TheViper. Now, admittedly, as an American, I know RocketBeans has been around for a long time, but I really wasn't exposed to them until they entered the Age of Empires community. And I've had some conversations with Donnie, and he is just one of the coolest guys. And I've even watched this stream. And even though I don't understand German, it seems like they're having such a good time, and it's awesome to see how many numbers they're bringing into the Age community. So I contacted Donnie, and I wanted to get involved with casting these. And though I wasn't there to cast them live, unfortunately, I am here to cast the recorded games for you. So we have none other than TheViper here in the red, and this is going to be a 2v1, and they played multiple games which I will cast and upload to YouTube over time. So hope you guys enjoy, and let's get the introductions going. So we have TheViper, and Viper in this 2v1 has chosen to play as the Huns, and he is up against this player in the blue, NC Pseudo. I'm not sure how to say his username. In reality, this individual is named Marco, and I'm sure if you're a RocketBeans fan, you will know who he is. And then his teammate, I don't even know how you say that, but in the yellow here, he's playing as the Spanish, and it is Florentine. So, my apologies, guys. As a noob American, my pronunciations may be off, and I'm really only familiar or very close touch with Donnie. So I don't know these other individuals. Very cool to see what they're doing with Age, of the thousands of people they have watching every single day. If you don't happen to know who RocketBeans are, probably have a link to their YouTube and Twitch in the video description, as well as, of course, Vipers if you'd like to check him out. So I want to talk about the game, the maps, and what we're going to see here. We know Viper is one of the best players this game has ever seen, currently the best player, but it is a 2v1. I believe Marco is rated 2K on HD. And I believe Florentine here is rated about 1700. My apologies if I get the ratings wrong. So personally, I actually have a lot of experience in 2v1s. So I want to just briefly talk about what your focus should be when you're a higher rated player playing versus two lower rated players. You know, Viper, he has a civilization that's very, very good for this. He has a civilization that can have a strong start in feudal with scouts, and scouts can be mobile, and I think mobility is the key for Viper here. If you were to go with your standard man-at-arms, or maybe something like archers, while it can be a devastating combo, it's a very slow unit choice. So let's say hypothetically Viper were to build up 6 to 8 archers with fletching and push out, and he does damage to player 4 or Florentine. Well, then at the same time, Blue could be over here, Marco could be over here booming up to Castle Age. He has Berbers, and he could be going for Knights, and that would completely destroy Viper. So it's important that Viper applies pressure to both in some way. So my prediction would be that Viper will go for something like Scouts. Now, I think because Viper could be receiving a lot of pressure, it's important to talk about this map, and this map really is not the best map I've ever seen. He's going to chase the Blue Scout away here. In fact, I completely missed it. It looks like he may have ran into the town center fire from Viper. Luckily, he kept his Scout alive. And oh, he might also steal the sheep here. Let's see if he's nice or if he leaves them. Oh, he's gonna steal the sheep. Oh, great job, great job. Viper has a back wood line, which is always good because it's safer from any pressure. But you can see there's hills around here, and this gold is very messy. You know, if anything comes in at some point to attack Viper, he's gonna be fighting uphill, which means he does less damage and receives more damage. Also, the golds for Viper later on can be awkward. This one, out in the middle of nowhere, and then I don't even know where the other one is. It's got to be far away, right? Oh, it's all the way over here. So these gold positions are not very good for Viper. So I'm going to briefly speed it up until Viper hits feudal age. I also had boars up on the hill, which is always awkward, but he's going to bring these in nicely. His build order was not perfect. Normally you don't see a top player like this collecting sheep as he is, but he was forced to because of the boar position. Map for Marco is quite good here. I like this. I mean, the main gold's forward, but if you place this right, he can build a barracks and some houses and some walls out in front. That's going to protect all 3 wood lines. You know, his important resources are going to be safe if he does that. Can even wall towards the edge of the map or between the cliffs here. Protect this extra gold if need be. Now, his stone will be awkward if he wants to go Camel Archer, so that's one thing. Then you have Florentine here. Now, the walling's a bit interesting. I assume they've communicated, and they know where Viper is, and you can see Yellow is currently scouting closer to his allies' base. But the walls, I like the idea to wall, but if you're going to be making walls, I think the best approach would probably be to wall here. You place this amount of palisade wall forward, and this makes it a very good base. And these forward stones and golds don't really become an issue. So yeah, he's struggling to wall up a little bit. We'll see what build he's going for, because he's still in Dark Age. So he's going to have a delayed feudal, which means Viper could apply pressure to him. And yes, we have a 22 population uptime for Marco. And my guess is that Marco is going scouts. And you can see there is a difference in confidence level and just experience with Viper. I mean, this is obvious, but the fact that he's walling here as opposed to here just comes down to lack of scouting and lack of awareness with where the edge of the map is. But I like his build. He has, let's see, 5 on wood on the lumber camp here. And now he's going to stragglers to get the rest of the wood that he will need to build the stable. So I don't think he'll be too disappointed with himself. Could fine-tune that build order there, Marco. It's not a perfect 22 pop scouts build, Marco. But it's still going to be good enough. Now, Viper, he has done actually a very similar thing. He has the 6 on wood here, and then he had 4 on the stragglers. You normally have 10. And he's adding farms. Here comes the spear, and Viper will send the scouts. Viper also going as far as to build a mill on these deer with a very exposed map. That's normally a risk, but he sees Yellow still in Dark Age, and he doesn't seem to be too worried. Now, strategy choices can be quite interesting here. You have 2 people. I personally would say it'd be best to pressure Viper with have both players go scouts or both players go man at arms or something versus Viper. But it looks like this is an intentional late uptime from Yellow, and Florentine might be going for fast castle and conquistadors. As you can see, he's Spanish, he's in Dark Age, and he's on stone. Now, Viper, if you don't know anything about my channel, there's a meme, which is the woo 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 meme. And Viper, I guess he sent the forward spear and he's collected 2 wolves. And the funny thing is, there's a weak villager here somewhere. Where was that guy? I'm sorry. I thought I saw a weak villager here at some point, but Viper, it doesn't matter. If he sends in these scouts, the wolves have been lured in to attack these villagers. Viper's coming forward with towers, and the scouts are going to finish off these villas. This is perfect. As Viper would call it, it is a masterpiece. And as I would call it, that's a woo-woo-woo right there. Get wrecked. And this really comes back to, I think, Yellow not walling as he should have on the front, especially if you're going to be collecting stone like this. You don't want to leave it this vulnerable. Viper with a very smart decision here, recognizing that Yellow, that Florentine, sorry, is committing for a longer feudal age generally means that he's going to be going fast castle, and Viper then applies pressure. He's going to finish off this woman as well, and this just makes for a very poor situation now. You can't go fast castle conquistadors if you're Florentine at all, and Viper with 1 tower denies both the stones. Beautiful decision from him. So now, this is still a 2v1, keep in mind. The pressure comes in now from Marco. Marco may be communicating with his ally, and his ally is probably crying a bit, and Marco has to console him. But Marco knows that he now needs to do damage. And to be completely honest, Viper seems to have this one locked down. Seems to have it locked down nicely. His TCs are producing villagers. His military buildings producing as much as he would need. Because right now, 2 scouts and 1 spear will hold against 3 scouts. Especially because this 1 scout is the starting scout for Marco. Marco only produced those scouts, made a lot of defensive spears, and now is building an archery range. So, so you can see the quality of the build isn't going to be on par with Vipers for either player here, but they do have the potential for more military, and I think maybe the counter or the switch for blue will work if Viper doesn't spot it. The problem is Viper's Viper, right? And he has 5 scouts here. The spears are here to counter. This one, he can pick off. This villager, he can pick off. And the second Viper sees this archery range, he will prepare his own and likely add skirms. Viper no longer out here next to the mill, sending out a spear, and boop, 1 kill for him. He's gonna get 2 kills if this stands. Oh, the micro. Is it micro or Marco? That's so good for Viper. Nice damage done. Nice delaying here as well. Microing down that spear because it's on its own. Very well done. And he could kill some villagers. Marco, he's struggling now. You can see a little bit of idle time. The awkward thing is, Viper has full map control versus 2 players, and that is a big problem. And the castle time was completely thrown off for Florentin here. Nice wall in towards the town center from Marco. But yes, Viper, how many losses has he taken? I don't recall him losing anything. He lost a spear, I guess. But he hasn't taken any losses to his main army, keeping good map control with that. And now, he is adding the archery ranges. And he's comfortable. He's comfortable. Viper would have been expected to be comfortable in this first game anyhow. But he's done a very good job. I think an experience thing comes into play with the builds, but also not committing your army in bad situations, not committing to bad fights. And so Viper, he got value out of these scouts here. He killed a few villagers, I believe it was 3, which really hurt. Oh no, what is this? No, where's she? Whoa! No, this woman ruined everything. Why was there a hole deleted here? I can only imagine he found stone because it said she was a stone miner. Well, I guess the hole has been plugged for now. But that was confusing why that was opened. I thought it almost looked like Viper would have done that, right? Well, castle time on the way, luckily, for Florentin. Florentin's going to be going with knights. And knights is something that Viper will not have as disposal. These spears go out here to snipe Viper's scouts. Viper may be expecting that villager to run out because he's patrolling around with his scouts. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Viper's going to lose something. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Look at this. Viper. Is this Viper? Or is this Doubt? Look at that. 3 scouts thrown away. I mean, in the end, it's not a big deal because Viper's transitioning to archers anyhow. But yeah. This is really where the skirmishers need to come into play. I wanted to touch on the fact that Blue has actually made skirmishers instead of archers. And with the few scouts he has here and his own skirms and archers, he's going to kill Viper's archers. Viper doing a very nice thing to pull these scouts and these units away for a moment so he can tower his gold. Now, while that's good versus Viper's army, that's not going to be good versus Viper's villagers here. And with only 1 archer left in this army, the Viper will be able to use his villagers and tower to push this away. The flexibility of Huns is going to come in any moment now, because Viper, he just needs 50 more food to click up to castle, and then he can, of course, make 1 knight to clean these skirmishers up in the castle age, and he can then go into cav archers, which are very fast. But so far, Viper used the mobility of his scouts. He distracted multiple players. He will have to deal with the incoming knights soon from yellow, which will be tough. I think the pressure needs to come on fast and hard from Florentin. I want to look at Marco's point of view. And Marco, he's adding archers now. He does have fletching for his army. He is running away, though, which, well, we are spectators, of course. So we really know what's going on, and he has this fog of war. But I think this is an incorrect decision. He probably should stick around and at least try and distract Viper. Maybe he will run around to the other side. I guess he did spot this tower. Never mind. He spotted this tower and saw something die and wasn't happy about that. So he's going to try and hit another angle, which I like. Now, Viper has also done something very smart by building this tower. He recognizes if there's 2 players attacking him, he's going to need a little bit more protection. You probably wouldn't see this in any other game in a 1v1 by Viper. He'd probably instead just lock that down with his own units. Viper losing some units here, it seems. And these scouts still just trying to keep an eye on what the players are going for. But this is looking pretty good for the Germans. The only downside is that Viper will be castle age, and of course, Viper has the quality. I'm just waiting for those knights, man. Just waiting for those knights. From Florentin. This is probably the issue. They have this window to do damage to Viper with knights, but you don't see that pressure coming. So there's a 2-minute gap where they could do damage to Viper, but that has been closed. And now Viper's going to be able to turn on the style. So I wonder if they're going to implement different strategies when they play in the future. Please don't spoil it, YouTube. I went through great lengths to avoid getting this spoiled. In fact, I had to message a couple people to figure out who some of these individuals even were, because the usernames obviously don't say Florentin and Marco. But I am interested if they will change up their styles for Viper after they see how Viper adapts to this. Then we get to see Viper react in different ways as well, which would be cool. But yes, these units will die now. Viper's had the time, and like I said, the knights just work so well here. Viper focuses down the only thing that's a very small threat to him, and that is the archer. There's actually an archer in each small army. And then he goes for the skirms next. And now he adds cav archers. Cav archers, of course, can micro down villagers. They're very fast, very tanky, and also they have a discount as Huns. You know, these knights, they're on the way in now, and they have +1 defense and bloodlines for Florentin. But Viper seems to have him matched here. He has his own knights, he has cav archers, so these knights will die if yellow doesn't run away, and he is indeed doing so. So this is where the problem comes in now. Viper has survived the Fuel Age. He's made it to Castle Age, and now he has his speed. Now he has his strength. Bodcanero on the cav archers. Knights he probably won't need too many upgrades on, just needs a few for any skirms he may find. And he's on his second town center already. It's a very open map for Viper. It's a map that's hard to place town centers on. So he can't place one on his gold, but guys, he could place one up here or here maybe. Always want to have one next to wood. I really like the way that Viper has played this. Hasn't had to invest a lot into this either. And whoa! We have... we have... This is hilarious. Viper says you won't get conks. Viper realizing that Florentin has sent his villagers here to collect stone at his allies' base because he wants the conquistadors so badly. That is such a huge investment. It's such a huge risk. The forward stone as well. That's just a sign that they're not very confident versus the Viper currently. It probably would have been a smarter move to add a siege workshop and push down this one single tower instead of sacrificing that villager time and sending them all the way over here, but the quick walls are needed now, and the pressure comes in from Viper. These cav archers, 6+2 attack, they will one-shot these villagers, and this house wall, it's not going to offer much. Villagers being thrown away, Viper's score lead just rising, and you know what? Viper has this nice little cliff if he needs it. Yeah, look at this. Look at this little cliff. Is this not map hacks? The map hacks are so next level for Viper that someone else's map helped him out. But look, only lost one cav archer, hasn't even lost his knights yet. He will keep presence here at Blue's base, and Marco's got to be real frustrated now that maybe his ally wasn't able to do something more, or just he wasn't able to do something more. Everything is at Marco's base, and this house only had 100 HP on it, so it will go down. Now he's added camels, and camels are the correct response here. Camels counter the knights and the cav archers. The issue is that Viper has a lot of cav archers. He's up here now on this wood line, picked off another villager, and Viper, of course, can micro. So I think Viper will likely, I don't have a dashboard to tell me, but research husbandry, which will give him additional speed, and then he can run away from these camels. But another woman died here on the farms. It's 81 population for Viper. He's in a very strong position. Also saving up the stone to go for a castle. But yes, Viper just simply runs away. This is no problem for him. And then here as well, he will run away if need be. Also at the same time, he's sent some units over here to Florentin's base. And Florentin, 2 town centers, maybe a third about to go up in this back area with the water. Sorry, that would be a new lumber camp. But Viper has the map control. Viper doing everything right. See, look, the camels were brought back from Marco, and Viper, he's just going to run away with this army as well. Really like the way Viper has played this. And, you know, if you want to beat Viper in a 2v1, you need to be applying more pressure to him than they are right now. So I think Viper's going to be feeling confident. And normally, he probably wouldn't do what he's about to do. But because he's confident, because he knows, okay, the score is high, I have map control versus both players, I'm harassing both players. And as he runs over here to this wood line, Viper's going to build a castle forward. So we're going to see the castle drop as Yellow runs away from that new lumber camp. Florentin just built this. He lost 4 or 5 villagers. And now Viper can sit in this water as well. Very nice positioning from Viper. He's still harassing up here as well. Villagers are trying to come back to farm, and that's not possible. He's simply everywhere. A new cav archers grouping on the front. And this castle's going to go up. There's nothing they can do about it. And I want to look at the difference in populations. Marco, who's doing the best for his team, is at 73 pop, and Viper's closing in on 100 with a forward castle. Elite skirmishers, a nice move to counter cav archers, but I think it's a very bad sign if you're doing that as Spanish in this situation versus the Viper. A Viper, of course, with 1 knight can kill all these skirmishers, so again, he's taking very cost-effective fights. And I think this is when Marco will see the castle in the front. And he's not going to be happy seeing that. I can tell you that much. Because these camels really can't run into the castle fire that easily. The Viper can also take away his stone, which he is going to do. The cool thing for Viper is he's now signaling, or this could be Marco signaling because he thinks he's surrounded Viper. But I don't think Viper really, I don't think he's too worried about losing these units. He has the cav archer stacked. He knows the castle fire is helping him out, and he knows he's ahead in economy, so he can afford to lose a few cav archers. Probably would have been better just to run these away. Both players obviously thought that was a good fight. There's no way Viper forgot about that. It probably wasn't the best value, was it? But this is the first army in Castle Age that we're seeing from Marco arriving at Viper's base. And Viper, booming economy now, 91 pop, and that is mainly villagers. Of course, he lost a lot of his military. Nice little raiding by the camels, which do have full upgrades. But still, this is town center fire, and the cav archers will be able to mass again for Viper. Viper does have ballistics. He will not miss with these shots. And, yeah, town center protecting here. Going to maybe use this market to balance out his economy to get to Imp. And the first game here, this has looked very good for Viper. But still, you can see how there's been opportunities. You can see how maybe if Yellow hadn't gone to such great lengths to expand economy and instead had applied pressure to Viper, this could have given Marco time. And then this castle would be at home for Viper, and instead of forward, and Marco could have gotten his stone easier. Marco could maybe have gotten to the camel archers. Now, he's definitely under pressure now. Has to be careful not to lose vills underneath this town center. Viper he researched Marauders. So he's going to have fun with this one. If you don't know what Marauders is a new technology with the expansions that allows you to create Tarkans out of the stables. The Tarkans are a bit stronger than they used to be as well. You do need economy to make them. Viper, he obviously has that economy. And I think he's going to have some fun with those Tarkans and start destroying buildings with them. Now, question is he going to do it in Imp or Castle Age? And it looks to me like he is going to do this in Castle Age. Delays Imperial Age time a bit. I mentioned earlier that Knights would kill the Skirmishers from Florentine here. Well, Tarkans would do an even better job with their higher Pierce armor. And there's not too many Knights from Florentine anyway, or too many Pikes, so I think the surprise element will do very good for Viper now. And getting those defense upgrades. The question is, will he go to Yellow or will he finish off Marco because Marco's in a better position? It seems like he wants to go towards Marco. He's also making petards. These petards, well, it takes 5 to kill a town center. And Viper, if he masses 10 petards, could kill both these town centers no problem. Raiding with the cav archers again. I'm actually because Viper has so much control, I'm forgetting about the fact that he's even using extra armies. Here he's making sure that Florentin does not get to Conquistadors. Here, just with 2 Cav Archers, he picked off a couple Vills and delayed a woodline. Well done. And yet, Marco has no clue what's coming. Marco's probably hoping he could use the Marco Polo cheat right now. But the Marco Polo cheat will not work. But now he sees the Tarkets coming in. Knights from Florentin here to help. Viper building another castle. In come the Petards. Now, Marco's looking to push this with rams. Now, he does have the camels, remember. Viper doesn't really want to take straight up engagements versus the camels, but if he has enough numbers and he can create the Tarkans out of stables now, he could still win any fight. And down goes this TC. Now there's no way it stands. Marco's got to be thinking, are you kidding me? I have the resources to click up to Imp. This castle, well, for the moment is denied. The Petards, oh, let's be honest, this is kind of a troll move. Viper's going to use the Petards versus the camels, which is never a good idea. They will explode here. Not doing enough. Marco's cleaned this up. But guys, the problem is that Viper just has so much population. Even with a unit that does get countered by camels, he can win this. Almost killing units with the Petards there, which is interesting. Marco's looking to plug this gap. He's going to need to look towards another town center here as well to protect things. Viper, he finishes his castle, and now he's going to send the Tarkans this way. And they'll have a little bit more success versus these skirmishers. Viper, he has now decided to quit messing around, click up to the Imperial Age. He's done so. Marco has not done so yet. And then we have, still for what seems to be like forever Castle Age for Florentin. And Florentin's going for a lot of anti-archer units. Like, the Genitor is a mounted skirmisher. This obviously is a skirmisher. It's anti-archer. He doesn't have many things here that can counter Tarkans. They can't deal with them. Of course, spears help, but they still aren't pikemen. Viper is going to spam these things not stop. You just know he's going to spam these things not stop. And look at the amount of military that Florentin has. And just watch it disintegrate here over time. Because Viper, well, he's choosing to go back. Or not. Not sure what he's doing. But you shouldn't be too worried about this. Viper has villagers now. Running in. Doing a dance. Ring around the rosy around the mill from Marco. Yeah, Viper, I guess, has chosen not to commit his forces. That was just a trick. He's run back. I want to look at Marco's point of view. Marco's on the way to Imp. Well, if he had more economy, I would say this is doable for him. It's just very tough when Viper has so much map presence against you and so many units about to be upgraded in the Imperial Age. Can't make you very confident when someone petards down your TC and when someone uses villagers to attack a house. Oh wow, and he's just sent 1,000 food over to Florentin to help him out. Now Florentin can get pikemen. Pikemen would work, but then Viper has the counters with the Cav Archers. And you know Viper would immediately send out the Cav Archers. But then, I guess, of course, Florentin has the skirmishers. Who knows? And, oh! Oh! He's going for the castle! So, hold on a second. Did he purchase that? It's very difficult for me to tell without an overlay. I believe he either purchased this, or the stone got slung to him by his ally. But Viper, he's in the Imperial Age. He's getting a lead Tarkin. Oh no. No, don't tell me this is going to be denied. Viper says down castle incoming. Oh man, it's a Florentin castle now. Oh, that's such a heartbreaker. What a way to finish this off. In fact, the Maganel, I think, applied some friendly fire to those villagers. Oh, look at that. That's such a sad sight, man. He wanted those conquistadors so bad. As far as I know, he only plays Spanish. The Viper denied the stone in the early game, denies the castle in the late game, and now he can deny life to this entire eco. And, of course, now he's building another castle at Marco's base. Marco might have this gold, but Marco won't be able to deal with the trebuchets Viper's making now to take out his economy. Complete destruction. Viper going to win this game, it seems. And, you know, this is my first taste of the skill level that RocketBeans has. It's obvious Marco is a stronger player. He has the counters down, his economy's a bit stronger. But I think they need a better team plan. I don't think it would be a bad idea for the Spanish player to go tower rush, because Spanish builds buildings faster, so they're a very good tower rush civ. So maybe someone in feudal age go tower rush while the other player goes scouts. Use that time maybe to full wall your base, because they allowed Viper to stop their walls. Specifically here with Florentin, his walls were stopped. That castle has been destroyed. Florentin is dead. There's no doubt about it. 180 population for Viper, 40 for Florentin in the castle age. And now Viper is spamming with Tarkins. He's taking out the TC with the Treb. This Trebuchet, it might die though to Vils. So that's something Marco can put in the achievements. Killing a Trebuchet with villagers is better than winning the game. Now, come on guys, this is just cheating. Viper's adding another unit. Come on, Viper. That's not fair. You're supposed to stay with one unit all game. Tarkins, come on. Somehow this win has lost its glamour now, Viper. Mixing in the counter to camels. Come on now. What are you doing? But they're gonna call the GG. And that is the end of the first game that they played. Which, well, to be honest, was not the closest game, but it'll give us something to look forward to in the future. You know, we can look at the next game and compare it to this one and say, okay, this is what you need to do better going into it. Now, the games are already played, so they're not going to be able to listen to my commentary and then take my advice. But I would say this is a winnable game for them. It's going to be difficult, of course, but it's not winnable if they give Viper so much time at his base. I think you both need to go full feudal versus Viper, or what you could do is have Florentin here finish his walls. Maybe he'll get a better map where his stones aren't forward and get his fast castle build down correctly. Viper, credit to him, he scouted the stone, he towered the stone, he recognized that conquistadors could be the choice or would be the choice, and he denied that possibility. But I'd like to see a little bit more feudal age aggression. Let's look at the achievements now and just see how dominant Viper was. Viper with 261 units killed, 96 units lost. Poor Florentin, man. That was really a tough game for him because of the way his base was set up, and after that one tower did so much. Viper, we barely looked at his economy this game, but look at what his economy did for him. So while the attacks are impressive from Viper, the most important thing is always the economy. And he had more food collected, more wood collected, more stone, more gold. And obviously he did not tribute anybody anything. More researches, faster imperial time, despite having to attack 2 people. And that is what you have to expect with the Viper. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching this. I know the game wasn't the most competitive, but I still think it's pretty awesome to have casted 2 people who are so big in the Age of Empires community in Germany, and then the Viper. And I'm looking forward to seeing these relaxing, fun settings in the future as I cast the rest of the games. This week, I will be uploading The Legend of Blue Coffee Continues for all those that didn't see what happened on the Twitch stream. Also, I will be uploading the next episode of the Viper Challenge, where I play Viper in 1v1s. Really appreciate you guys supporting the stream and supporting the YouTube channel the way you have over the past year. It's a pleasure to always be a part of this, and maybe we'll get some more Gold Nothing and Forest Nothing and Wolf Nothing up to YouTube this week, though I think it's going to have to wait for the next big thing. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and I will see you all next time.